What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to take a first impressions look at the McNees Customs Performance Machined MAC2 3.5 inch. I went with the vanilla model because, of course, that's all that was available. These went pretty fast. People wanted to get a feel for them. The MAC2 3-inch one was fairly well received, but it just begged to be a larger knife because it was one of those kind of little tanks that was begging to be a bigger knife. So we'll pull that in just a sec. I just had to laugh at this. You have a skull with a knife going through it and it's saying be nice. I guess that's a be nice or else. So that's the box that it does come in. This is not a full review. I will link that below. It will probably fall in a few weeks here as I carry it and put it through some testing and use. Out of the box, I will say the action is amazing. I would expect that with a little bit heavier blade. It does run on bearings, and it's just super glassy smooth. Mostly perfectly centered. It might be a 0.5 millimeter off. I'm going with mostly perfectly centered, though. The action is great. Backside finger, that's one of the things that I will say missed from the smaller model is going back to the thumb studs. It was kind of a tough deployer because being so short there. It was nearly impossible to keep tension off the rear side. It takes a lot of practice, but you can eventually get it. But again, just not the most straightforward thing. So out of the box, I would say that's definitely one of the improvements that this is going to provide, is there's obviously a little more space there on those thumb studs. It is also still 20 CV steel, made in the USA. I would say maybe an opportunity was missed possibly to increase the pivot size, maybe. Of course, machine shops want to keep things consistent, but it does appear as though we probably have the same pivot size for a much larger blade. I would also say one of the things that I was hoping to see, actually, let me open it this way, is a little bit bigger, let me get that one out of the way, a little bit bigger pivot, not pivot, but stop pin there. So yeah, this one was kind of tiny, I felt, on the other one because it was a fairly stout and hefty blade. This one appears to be the exact same. I will measure it, but it appears to be the exact same size as the 3-inch one. Also on the 3-inch, I would say the blade stock appears to be just about the same. I haven't measured them, but it kind of certainly feels it and looks it. And when I kind of look at the grind next to each other, it seems to be ground to the same height. So the cutting geometry should be about the same. It's not going to be a great slicer. It's going to be a strong cutter and obviously very stout. In the hand, it's fantastic, and it definitely achieves what the 3-inch could not, which is a very comfortable for medium-large hands, a little bit of space for a little bit larger hands, as well as gloves in there. We'll be testing that out in glove use and so forth. But overall, yeah, I would say it comes through on at least 2 of the 3 improvements that I think were certainly needed from the 3-inch little tank, and it achieves it. This does come in at $495, which is $2 less than the 3-inch one. That's $497. So, obviously there's no price break here. It's still, Jonathan McNees is still, it does not have a massive shop and that sort of thing. So I wouldn't expect the sorts of things you get from large production shops. Just wanted to go ahead and throw this out there for those maybe considering that as these begin to drop here. If you were looking for those key things of definitely a better grip, a little bit longer blade, still good comfort in the hand, yeah. And then also the backside deployment is definitely much better. The framing appears to be very similar. So yeah, that's your initial look. Like I said, look for a full review in the coming weeks. Take care.